What's going on, everybody? This is The Wise Investor, and today I'm going to be doing the first episode of a new series where I'm going to be building a dividend portfolio from scratch. I'm starting it this month, and I'm going to be documenting the journey. Every month, I'm going to give you guys the updates on what positions I'm adding, how the positions are performing, the dividends I'm getting each month, and how much I'm getting from each holding. So I'm gonna start it off right now. This is May of 2026, and I'm starting this account with about 5,700. As you see, this is month one, and I'm gonna take you guys through my holdings. This is my Blossom portfolio tracker, by the way, the best portfolio tracker. And I will leave a link in the description where you could also sign up to use this portfolio tracker. So, as you see, we're starting with 5,700. And the goal of this portfolio is going to be to maintain capital, modest appreciation, but the real goal is a high dividend yield. We're looking to build this up to $1,000 a month as fast as possible. So our anchor for this portfolio is going to be HHIS, which is the Harvest High Income Shares ETF. This is a ETF holding, companies like the Mag 7. You got Apple, Nvidia, Meta, also big blue chip companies like AMD, Eli Lilly, Robinhood, Coinbase. And they employ a covered call strategy by holding single stock ETFs on each holding and selling covered calls on each of those individually. For those that don't know what a covered call strategy is, it's basically an option strategy where they will be holding the asset and they will be selling option contracts and collecting premiums each month. What that does is going to somewhat cap your upside, but it will increase your dividend yield. So this yields about 28%. My next holding is XEQT, which is not really a dividend holding. This is more to maintain growth. The next holding we have is XEI, which is the iShares S&P TSX Composite High Dividend Index ETF. So this basically just tracks the TSX 60, which is the 60 biggest companies in Canada, and they also with more weight towards the companies that pay higher dividends, essentially. The yield on this, I believe, is around 4%. We'll check that out afterwards. My next holding is GLCC, which is the Global X Gold Producers Equity Covered Call ETF. This is basically giving you exposure to all the biggest gold producers in the world while also employing a covered call strategy. My next holding, HBTE, which is the Harvest Bitcoin Leaders Enhanced Income ETF, which is basically instead of directly investing in Bitcoin, you're investing in the entire Bitcoin ecosystem. So they hold all the biggest companies involved in Bitcoin mining, Bitcoin holding, things like that. So you have companies like Robinhood, Coinbase, Riot, Marathon, all those big names in the crypto space. And they also hold IBIT, which is the iShares Bitcoin Spot ETF. So, that's a good way to get, and they also employ a covered call strategy on that as well. So, great way for income and also Bitcoin exposure. And then you have ENCL, which is the Global X Canadian Oil and Gas Equity Covered Call ETF. This is basically giving you exposure to Canadian oil and gas while also giving you the covered call strategy. Next is BANK, which is the Evolve Canadian Banks and Life Coast Enhanced Yield Index ETF. This is basically going to give you exposure to all the biggest banks, the big six banks, and the big insurance companies in Canada, and also employ a covered call strategy. And then you have HYLD, which is the Hamilton Enhanced US Covered Call ETF. This is kind of like a S&P 500, but a little bit more concentrated with the covered call strategy on top. And then you have UTES, which is the Evolve Canadian Utilities Enhanced Yield Index Fund ETF. This is involved. They give you exposure to Canadian utilities. That's things like telecommunication companies, infrastructure, things like that, with the covered call strategy. And then lastly, I have TXF, which is the First Asset Tech Giants covered call ETF. And this gives you exposure to the 25 largest tech companies in the world while also employing, or sorry, not the world, in the US, while also employing a covered call strategy. So I'll take you guys into. All right, so now we're going to look at the dividends. So right now, the goal is $1,000 a month, which is 12,000 annually. Right now, I'm sitting just shy of $1,000 annually, which is about 81.25 a month. So we're gonna look at our statistics here, our dividend forecast. So based on our current holdings and the amount I have of everything right now, my annual dividend yield as of right now, HHIS is supposed to pay me $785 this year. XCI $38, HBTE $37.33, ENCL $21.53, UTES 1957, XEQT 1697, BANK 1614, HYLD 1522, TXF 1332, and GLCC 1134. And I will be dollar cost averaging into this portfolio every month. I will be aiming to add another 4,500 into this portfolio every month with some light leverage to accelerate my gains a little bit. I'll make further episodes, giving more details and information on that. So right now, my total dividend yield is sitting at 17%. So that means I will get 17% of the value of my total portfolio paid to me every year. And all of my holdings, well, not all of my holdings, the majority of my holdings pay monthly, with the exception of XEQT and TXF. So this is where we're starting now. And I'll be making monthly updates in the future to let you guys know how it's all going, where we're sitting at, and you guys could join me on the journey to $1,000 a month in dividends. So thank you for watching, and I hope you join me on the next one. I'll see you guys soon.